Good morning, everybody. Hey, thank you for tuning in to this very special episode of Coffee with RhinoMan. Normally, it's Nightcap with RhinoMan. However, I'm not sipping on anything special today. It's coffee. Got to get the day started. Today's guest, hey, he's one of the best, and we're going to find out about that in a minute. But first, as I do, I got three questions for you. As a creator, what is the most important aspect of your channel? You know, what is that? Is it delivering quality content? Is it, you know, being an informational source for viewers? Is it your image? Is it helping others? There's so many different things out there. I want to know what the most important aspect of your channel is. That's question one. Question number two, as a slot channel or in the slot or gaming niche, do you consider yourself an influencer or an entertainer? Let me know that. Question number three, had it plenty of times on the show before. This time I want to know directly from you, do you plan your work? We're going to ask the guest today all three of these questions. Does he plan his work? Does he consider himself an influencer? What's the most important aspect of his channel? We're going to get to all of that in a minute. But first, look at the bottom of the screen. You see it going by, the little ticker there. These are recent subscribers to my channel, and I want to take the time to thank them. I know I'm looking down. This isn't my normal setup, but anyway, today's new channel subscribers: Crystal K, sorry, Juan Vasquez, Kim Bussy one, Seeking Las Vegas Sunrise, Max Grata and Vinci, and then Casino Babe Slot Zone. Thank you guys for subscribing recently to my channel. And if you're new to the channel, hey, it doesn't hurt. Just quickly click on that button and do that. But first, as I keep saying, but first. Anyway, Nina Slots and Things. They say, love Josh and Joseph. Thank you for coming in. Sister Yoshi, channel manager. She had to be here. Melba, hi. Thank you for coming in. Gamblers Unknown. Today, you guys are in for a special treat. I hope you're here to enjoy this and get some tips from the man himself. Gambling Granny, thank you for coming in. Blue Line Slots, Goldie Slots. Hey, guys, let's get this party started. Let's bring him on camera so he could introduce himself and we could get this thing going. Yay! Good morning. Good morning, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a little hectic of a morning. I wanted to make sure I matched your backdrop. So look, we're in Maui.
Hey, we are here. I see the pool out back right there.
Yeah, that's some beach this is a channel, I think it's called Maui Cam. You can go on YouTube and watch the beach and the waves. And we'd love to go there. It's been like 3 years since we've been to Maui, but this is like something that we always put on the TV just to kind of feel like we're there. And you have your backdrop, and so I'm feeling tropical today.
Hey, I love it. I love it. So I bet you with the pandemic, you really haven't had much time to travel and just leisure.
No, not at all. I think we might have traveled twice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe 3 times: Vegas, Reno, and Reno.
Vegas, Reno, and Reno. Hey, I see. I could tell a trend there. You're traveling to places with casinos.
Yes.
You gotta love it. And I was fortunate enough to meet you on your Vegas trip.
Right, back at G2E in October. Yeah.
Now, do you have plans to go this year?
Oh, I don't have plans, but I'm going to go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I have no plans for anything right now. Not even like a month out. We're just like, we've been so busy with our store. So it's just really hard to commit to traveling right now, but it's in the cards. It's just a matter of when we can make it happen.
Okay.
First, I want to say hi to everybody for joining the live chat.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's start off with the personal questions. First, introduce yourself. Let everybody know, as if they didn't know who you were, who you are. And
yeah, Josh, hi. I'm a slotaholic.
I must confess, I'm a slotaholic. Now, how many times have you said that on one of your videos?
Not enough. In fact, like that was like one of the first things I thought of when I thought of the channel name was like, wouldn't that be funny? People like, hi, I'm so and so, and I'm a slotaholic.
Hey, that's good. We're gonna get into your channel in a minute. Where do you
Yeah.
live?
Yeah, my husband and I, Joseph, we live in New Orleans in the French Quarter. I'm born and raised here. I've lived all over Louisiana and a
Okay.
few years in Texas. So we lived in Austin, Houston, and Dallas. Graduated from Grapevine High School in Dallas, and then I said bye Texas. Went to LSU for a couple of years. Was in school for music, and then met Joseph.
Okay.
Actually, I decided to leave school and then met Joseph. The
And
family has it another
where did
way, but
where did you meet Joseph?
at a bar here in New Orleans, and he was actually living in Houston, and I was
Oh,
living in Baton Rouge.
okay.
So what's really interesting is that we ended up meeting here in New Orleans, um, and we actually ended up getting married. And our anniversary, our 5-year anniversary, is this week, May 4th, and the area code is of New Orleans is 504. And
Okay.
so it's really interesting how neither of us were living here in New Orleans. We met in New Orleans. We ended up moving to New Orleans, and we ended up getting married on the area code of New Orleans 504. And again, we're celebrating 5 years this year, but 18 years together this
Fantastic.
week. Yeah, we're celebrating.
May
Yeah,
the fourth be with you.
I know it.
and, and
So
speaking of
not
that,
planned.
cheap plug, Gamblers Unknown is in the house. We have this event on May 4th. It's called Major Chasers Strikes Back. It's a live event.
Clever.
It'll go from all over the place. It's going to be a fun event, and I myself am in that.
Awesome.
I'll be doing that at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and he's going to kill me. My channel manager's going to kill me. Everybody's going to kill me because I should have had that thumbnail up like last week, and I
It's a
haven't
lot.
done it. So we're going to talk about time management when we get there. But I see some more people in the house. Melba said Texas still loves you, Josh. Don't worry about it. Becky A is in the house, in the kitchen with Karen. Lucky
Hey.
Obsessive Slots and Scratchers. Uh, Gamblers Unknown, of course. There's quite a few people in here.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully I'll
so
get to participate in one of those major chaser events soon. I was
yes,
hoping to do it this time around, but I'm not going to be at a casino on that date. So
okay.
yeah,
Okay, I look forward to seeing you do one of these events. They're so much fun. I
yeah,
mean, and they're put together in a way that when we did the first couple of events, the Hit It and Quit It, and then the Major Chaser events, um, they're put together in a way that you don't necessarily have to be at the same casino. You just have to transition it well. You have to
yeah.
have participants that put up their thumbnails and have their links together so everybody can
Keep it
switch.
seamless. Keep it
Exactly.
seamless. Yeah,
Exactly. And I'm the cog in the wheel right now. I own that. I own that. Um, so you lived pretty much Texas, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, a little bit everywhere down south. You went to school down there,
hmm
uh, and now you run a business there. Tell us about your business.
yeah. Oops, that's my fault, y'all. So we have a business. It's called Bourbon Pride.
Okay.
We're on Bourbon Street, world famous Bourbon Street, and we opened 11 years ago. And we are the only LGBTQ plus pride shop in all of Louisiana. I know that's really crazy to think, but we literally are the only. Hey, we have a surprise guest.
Okay. I was going to ask you about your mascot. Oh,
Well,
that's
this is Jaja,
okay.
and she's who the Mighty Cash White Tiger. That's my
Oh, she's
girl.
beautiful.
She's trying to get away. Is who we named that after. So Jaja is named after the White Tiger is named after Jaja. Oh, and who's your mascot?
My mascot is Cookie.
Hey, Cookie.
Yeah, she is
Just chilling,
adorable.
cute. Yeah, she
She
just chilling.
travels with us everywhere. I can't bring my big dog, so I
Mm-mm.
bring her along with me everywhere we go.
Oh, that's nice. Travel
Hey,
companion.
Preston Thomas, thank you for coming in.
But as
So,
far as our business, yeah, Bourbon Pride. Uh, what how that came to be was back in the day, '07, '06, maybe '05. I don't know. Time has flown. I was putting out music, and became an artist, a singer-songwriter, toured the country, had radio play on FM and XM radio, and was doing a whole bunch of Pride events throughout the country. And 2010 comes along, and I decide to go on audition for Wheel of Fortune. I made it onto the game show. And here's something funny too. I made it onto the show. We taped in April, and our show aired May 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, okay.
So this is another fun week for me because of Cinco de Mayo and my Wheel of Fortune win. So when that money came in, the business had become available. So I put my name in the hat, and they went with me. Wow. And so my idea was, you know, I've been all over the country performing, and New Orleans has a long history of LGBT. You know, we're very open and liberal city. But we didn't have anything, you know, at the time to have people come in and represent who they are, you know, through any retail shopping. So that it was just an idea. I thought I could be like a little Kim Kardashian, put my name on a business, and then get back to singing. And then it just became so time consuming. And then 2013, I put out another single called Our Love. And that was my last release for music that I put out. But I've written for other artists and done stuff behind the scenes as well in the studio. So
that is awesome. Real quick, Slot Sisters in the house. Real Twinning Slot says, "Hey Josh, love you."
Love you too.
So,
And
singer, belt out a couple of chords there.
Let me see, because you know I had COVID for the past 2 weeks, and I'm still dealing with some vocal stuff.
Okay.
So, but let me warm up, and then I'll get back to you with that.
Okay. Yeah. Before the interview's over, you're gonna have to share something with us there.
Yeah. Let me sip my go-go juice first.
Oh, you actually have a drink, man. I came unprepared today. Actually, I have beer in the cooler right now, so. But that's for a little bit later on.
Yeah, I know. I have to go to work at 2:00, so I shouldn't sip too much.
Same here. So how has your business grown in Bourbon Street? I mean,
you know, we were pretty fortunate to shout out to public school teachers, by the way, from Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty fortunate because the location that we're in is in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the gay bars and all that stuff. And so we kind of had like a built-in audience. But again, we opened up not too long after Hurricane Katrina. So tourism wasn't really strong back then. So we had to rely on our locals to support the business. And slowly but surely, you know, we were able to grow, and we were fortunate to turn a profit right from the get-go.
Oh, nice.
So, so it's just been a matter of, you know, trends, you know, what people are wanting, and we just have to be on the pulse.
So we're going to get to that point later on when we start talking about your channel, because, you know, there's definitely correlations between a business and YouTube as a business. And I'll ask you those questions in a little bit, but, you know, I want to know how you've been able to correlate a regular business into YouTube. And I know the way that you do your YouTube, the details that you put into your YouTube channel, I'm sure your business has those same amount of details going into it.
Yeah. And the business has a lot of moving parts to it for just one small, you know, it's a small business, but there's a lot of moving parts to it. A lot of companies we order from, a lot of events and festivals here in New Orleans that we have to, you know, be sure that we're getting inventory for. You know, it's just a constant wheel that's spinning in your head. And that's why slots has become a de-stressor for me.
Okay.
And zone out.
Now, wait, you said slots has become a de-stressor for you.
Well,
however, slots have probably become a de-stressor for you, but has a slot channel become a de-stressor for you? Because I could see that going both ways.
Absolutely not. It's work.
Okay.
But I still go to the casino, and here's what you know, people catch on to the more you watch, the more they watch your channel, is that they realize, you know, he might be he posts every day, but he's not there every day. And so when I go to film for the channel, I do a 2-day trip. Joseph and I will go out for about 2 days if we're fortunate to get 2 days, and just nonstop film. And so I'll have my checklist of things that I need to make sure that I film so I can have those videos to roll out over the coming weeks. And so when it comes to the filming part of the channel, I got it down to a science to where it's not stressful. It's just you have to make sure you get as much content as possible, win or lose. We might have some trips where, man, we had a whole bunch of winning fun videos, but we milked every single dollar of it just to get the content.
Exactly.
And then there's some times where, like the Max 10 challenges that I do, will pull through with a huge win, and we're able to leave with the profit, from the casino trip. But other than that, yeah, I will go to the casino once a week here at Harrah's New Orleans in distress. I'll bring a few $100s and just low roll and have a good time. So
I will ask you about that real quick. Let me say some shout outs. DJ Starman69, what's up, guys? Watching from San Antonio, Texas. Good to see you. Off work today. Trucks need work. Melba says, I'm disappointed in RhinoMan not having something to sip on. I'm disappointed as well. Real Twinning says, hey, that the slots are a de-stressor for them as well. I think that is the biggest de-stressor for any gambler to be gambling. It might not turn out well for them, but it does. So you're in New Orleans. The de-stressor is Harrah's Casino for you. I've walked Bourbon Street, and I noticed that in some of the bars there are different slot machines and different things.
Oh, video poker.
Video poker. But I just wanted to give everybody an idea about how long it takes you to get to Harrah's, because that's quite a distance to go to de-stress.
Harrah's is just 6 blocks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got that nice little walk down.
I walk down Canal Street, which is like a main thoroughfare, runs right into the river. So you have a nice cool breeze coming down Canal Street. You got the wind blowing your hair around, and you're blowing off all that hot, steamy sweat that New Orleans we're famous for.
Oh yeah.
Get my nice breeze in and then go win.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Whereas Coushatta or our filming trips, it's usually a 3 to 4 hour drive or flight. Actually, going to Vegas is longer. It's hard to get a nonstop flight these days.
How often do you go to Vegas?
I mean, ideally twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about all the time I'll get.
So you just got to put that announcement out. And I'm going to talk about 2 more points while we're still talking on personal stuff and where you live and everything. How the hell is it on Fat Tuesday by your house?
We are okay. So we live in the French Quarter. We're 1 block off of Bourbon Street, and we're 1 block off of Canal Street, and we're in an apartment building that used to be an old department store.
Okay.
So think of like a Macy's that's been converted into apartments and lofts, right?
Okay.
And so we are on the 6th floor, and we're not in our apartment. We're not dealing with the crowds. We're in a secure building. We don't hear the noise. We might hear police sirens. We might hear ambulance. We might hear a gunshot, but we're not in the thick of it. But our business is, on Bourbon Street, but we're towards the back middle. So the real crowds are the first few 100 blocks of Bourbon, and we're sandwiched between 2 bars that get a lot of business. And so there might be like a little street party or something, but it's not out of control.
Okay.
So it's tolerable.
It's tolerable.
Yeah.
But you could also enjoy it from your terrace too, because you have an awesome terrace out there.
Yeah.
I
can look down and see, ooh, they fighting. People are just so drunk, stumbling. It's just so sad sometimes.
It's sad but hilarious because we've all been there.
Yeah, it's not fun to get to that point, and it's not fun to watch it either.
Exactly. Wow. So Bourbon Street, your terrace, you get to view everything that's going on. I've noticed a couple of things. You mentioned one earlier, the sirens and police and everything else. I saw you on Facebook about a month and a half ago, where the guy stole the truck and ran it into the building and
Oh
took
yeah.
off into one of the apartments. And
Okay, so that was Joseph, and that I think that was probably like not a month ago. That was probably like 6 months ago or so. I think it was last summer. Um, but yeah, so Joseph, our apartment 1 block away is our storage unit facility. And so
uh
Joseph went to go get some handle bags, our shopping bags for our customers.
okay,
And he was in the unit, which is on the 7th floor. And he came down with the bags in his hand, and the elevator door opens up, and it's 3 officers with guns pointed at him.
I saw that.
And so they told him to go back up to his unit and seek shelter there until further notice. And
Yeah,
so I get a phone call from Joseph, like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm okay. I'm like, okay, what happened?" It's funny now, but
yeah.
I'm really worried for his life. He goes, "There's someone with the gun. There's someone with the gun," and I'm just gonna stay in here until everything's okay. I'm like, oh my God, but this is ridiculous. So what ended up happening is a block or two away from the storage facility, a man was in his truck with a trailer hitched, attached to it,
Yeah.
and 4 kids came up. All right, the man got out of the truck to, I guess, adjust his hitch or whatever, and the 4 kids got into the car and took off and took the corner too fast and ran into the building. And then one of the kids ran into the building, and then the other 3 took off. And so that one kid that ended up in the building created this whole scene, and he didn't have a gun on him, but
Okay.
they just believed that he had a gun since he had robbed or took a car. There was a whole ordeal. So yeah, that stuff happens.
It does happen there for sure.
Oh
Probably
man.
more often than anything else. Real quick, the gambler after dark is in the house. Hey, hey, hey. And then I see a lot of pretty ladies in the house. I see Vegas Girl Slots, Kino Kid, Kino Candy, Bex Bet. Thank you guys for coming in. James Coupler just joined. Hey, really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks
so
for
now
coming in.
let's get on to gambling.
Okay.
How long have you been gambling?
Oh, as soon as I turned 21.
Okay.
So my birthday's July 4th, and we were living in Texas, and Joseph wanted to go to the casinos for my birthday. So we stayed at Harrah's New Orleans, and then we went to Biloxi, and we stayed at, I guess it was Harrah's then. And
Okay.
then a tropical storm came in that night. So I remember Tropical Storm Cindy. This was 2004, and the whole casino was shut down.
Oh, nice.
So we ended up staying in the hotel with the tropical storm on us, and
So
then actually a few
you
months
were
later,
actually.
Hurricane Katrina came through and took that casino out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You were actually locked down in the casino in the hotel.
in the hotel. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Did
It
they
was
let
kind
you
of
go down?
fun.
Did they let you go down and play?
No, everything was
Wow.
turned off. It's like as soon as we got there, like 3 hours later, oh, there's a tropical storm coming. We have to close the casino. I was like, oh man.
Okay. And then one more quick point for everybody in the chat. You are 6 blocks away from Harris. However, he cannot film at Harris unless he gets permission at least a month ahead of time.
Well, 21
So
days. 21
21
days.
days.
Yeah.
But he does have to give them a lot of notice in order for him to do that. So
And I'm the first YouTube channel in Louisiana to receive permission at a corporate casino in Louisiana. So about 3 years ago, actually 2018, when I was posting from Harrah's New Orleans, I did not have permission. And I eventually, got approached by the VP of marketing, and he goes, "I love what you're doing. We really want this to happen, but unfortunately it's against state law." And I was like, "What is that about? I keep hearing that it's against state law." And he goes, "Well," he gave me some legislative titles to look
okay.
up. So I went home, and I remember he said 42A and 29B. So I looked up those parts of the legislation, and I didn't see anything. And then there was like a keyword search, And so I just put in stuff like, recording, filming, all those hot, those keywords,
Okay.
and nothing populated. So I reached out to the Gaming Commission, and they told me that there's actually nothing within legislation that prevents anyone from recording using a cell phone. If you have professional grade equipment and lights and all that stuff, and you're, then yes. But so I presented that information to the VP of marketing, and he thanked me and he said, I will escalate this. And before I knew it, he had left. He was no longer with Harris. I'm like, what happened? And so I thought we were getting some stuff going, right?
Because he brought that up. That's probably why you're fired.
Yeah. Well, he ended up at Tampa Hard Rock.
Okay.
So that's where he is now. He's a marketing director there. And so, I kind of was in limbo for a little bit of time. And so I was able to get away with some filming after that. But to the extent of what I do now, I don't like, I need to set up my tripod. I need to have, I need to be in the zone, not worried about being approached.
Yeah.
I want to know that I'm getting my content with purpose and not, going to get in trouble. Okay. So I don't really mess with that anymore. It's, if I go to Harris, it's just a unwind.
Okay. So now you said it, being approached. Melba said, yeah, and 3.5 years later, Josh got permission signed off. Sort of.
Yeah.
So being approached.
Persistence.
How do you feel about being approached by viewers when you're either filming or you're live?
Oh, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that.
I know, because you were filming live when I interrupted you and Joseph. And
for the AGS, yeah, Rake and Bacon. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, the Rake and Bacon. And to my surprise, because my channel was still very, very small at that time, and it still is. But one of the things that really made you stand out is the way you handled me coming up to you. First of all, I didn't know you were live, but you just turned the camera around. You're just like, "Hey, check it out, RhinoMan's here," and I really appreciated that. That was so cool. And then you asked if I followed you around. That was all good and everything else. So that was fantastic. I really enjoyed my time there with you and getting to meet you in that type of atmosphere.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mind it at all. I'm a talker. And so like, I'll know, okay, I'm just going to press pause on the video because I can just, edit that out, our conversation. Because, sometimes people want to, actually have like a genuine conversation with you. And you'll say, oh, well, after this video, I'll link up with you and we'll talk. And then that actually never comes to be because you just never seem to line up and see each other again. So I know, like, I can squeeze in 5 minutes. It's fine. Yeah. Sometimes I've talked for 30 minutes. I'm like, I better shut up because I'm never going to get anything filmed.
Real quick, Real 20 Slots, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really love it. They say the library is open. Josh, we love it.
Look, I got 2 books here too. So the library is open with my Britney Spears.
Okay.
What is it called? Pop. What are these called? Funk. Pop rock.
Those pop art?
Yeah. All I care is that it's Britney Spears. That's it.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're going to get you to sing in a minute. Okay. So we're going to get into your channel in 1 second. There's so much I want to find from you because you have so many tips and everything that you could share with so many people out there. JJ Slot Play, thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. Gamblers Unknown says Funko. I guess those are called Funkos.
Yeah.
What's your biggest win and your biggest loss in? Oh, there you go.
Funko. Biggest win?
Yes.
Well, my biggest win at a casino was in a slot tournament, and I won the top prize, $50,000 in cash.
Okay.
Which was amazing. But my biggest slot machine win was, I think, because Joseph and I played side by side, together, and so I'm going to let him have it because he pressed the button. So his was 13,700.
Okay.
Mine was 12,700.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. T-Town Gambler is in the house. She was also there that week that we met. I
Yep.
got to meet her for the first time, along with NES slots. It's a slot machine Simon. So there were a lot of different channels there. Got to hang out with a lot of them. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest losing session?
You know, I really don't. I don't commit too much to a game, but um, I think actually at the Cosmopolitan when I met you that week for G2E,
Okay.
um, I played a game from Every, and it was like a community-based game or something like that.
Okay.
And when I first sat down, I probably hit like $400, and it's like, oh, this is fun. And then there was like something on the wheel, like the community wheel thing that I was really hoping to get. And I was like, well, I didn't really lose $400. I probably had $200 in the machine, and I got it up to 600, and I spent it all. And
Yeah.
so I was like, let me just put a couple more $100 in, and I just could not win anything else. And so I left. I probably spent 800 to 1,000
Wow.
with a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like,
I-
why did I do that? I know better.
Hey,
But yeah, typically I know when a machine is going through a slow, just nothing, period of nothing. And
okay.
I'm like, I know I know a win is right around the corner.
Okay.
So I'll always keep that in mind. If I'm going through like a little spout of just no wins or nothing fun, like this is all for entertainment. If you're not being entertained, get up and move to the next seat and sit down. You never know, you might have a hand pay on the first spin.
Okay.
So I never chase. So, and speaking of like the major chasers event, I'm not really a chaser, especially for major jackpots,
Okay.
because it's just I've been burned so many times. But I'll definitely participate in one. But yeah, I don't like the chase. I just know everything. If your biggest wins are going to happen right away in the first few minutes, always. My biggest wins
Okay.
always happen that way.
And we're going to get to that because you've incorporated that into a lot of your channel ideas.
You did.
Real quick, Melba says inquiring minds want to know, when was the last time you picked up an instrument?
Oh, probably like a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I played the flute, and so
Oh, I
still got
was
to see if I got it.
like,
I mean, got the talent.
okay.
Yeah, because that's what I went
Um,
to school for.
Kino Kid says, I met you at G2E as well.
Yep.
But he met you when he was single. Now he's married,
Oh Lord,
right?
fell into the trap.
Fell into the trap. Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about your channel. The slot drops in the house. Thank you for coming in. Spanglish Slots is in the house. Thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Did Slot Drop
Um,
get his 500? He
what
was
was
at
that?
500 subscribers yesterday. Did he get your 500 subscribers? Slot
Did
Drop.
you get it? The slot drop. Did you get your 500 subscribers? Let us know in the comments, please. The Great American Gamblers in the house. Who's got the best Cajun food in New Orleans?
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of people come to New Orleans. One of the number one questions we get at the store is, "Hey, where can I get some good Cajun food?" And I'm like, "You probably want to go to Lafayette. It's like 2 hours away from us
Okay.
because New Orleans is so much seafood. It's just a lot of
Yeah.
shrimp and crawfish and you know
Okay. I,
seafood."
I have a question about the restaurants down there before we get into your channel. The slot drop says yes, he got his 500 subscribers. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I will say, just to wrap up the Cajun thing, Mulatts, Mulatte''S. Like it's kind of like a tourist trap restaurant, but it's a good atmosphere. You get live Cajun music and you get Cajun food. But I
Okay.
mean, I think that's a good place to go.
Somebody comes out to visit you. Where do you take them?
We usually go to Deanie's Seafood, which is like literally a block away from our apartment, so it's a safe walk. Um,
Okay.
but there's a lot of fine dining that is just like 1 or 4 blocks away from us.
Okay.
But we're not really fine diners. Like we're not very much into that. Like dining experience. We'll go to Vegas and have some nice dinners with Diana. You know, Diana knows everywhere to go in
Okay.
Vegas, and all the best places to go. So we'll participate in a fine dining experience then. But for the most part, Joseph's a great cook. He can whip something up in 10 minutes and save that money for a casino trip.
Okay. Um, wow. I could continue this interview just talking about where you live and what you do. But let's get on to your channel. How did you start and when did you start your channel?
I started the channel in 15, and I used to watch VLR and New Jersey, Casino Man, New Jersey. So
Okay.
that was the first few channels that I watched. I didn't even watch Brian until maybe 15 or 14, so right before I started my channel.
Okay.
But Diana, I've always watched her. So a lot of the OG slots I watched, and um, my thing was I'm at the casino so much, and I've had some fun wins to share too. So maybe I should try, starting a channel. So before I started my channel, I wanted to come up with a name because going back to like the whole business concept of everything, I want to make sure that I'm creating a brand and a channel. So for me, I like to sip, spin, and win.
Yeah.
And, I thought it was a fun play on the word alcoholic. And so slotaholic. And that's how the name came to be. I was at a bar with one of my friends, and it hit me then. I was like, I really got to take this seriously now. But what made me want to take the channel seriously is when you have those magical moments every now and then that you just happen to capture on video.
Exactly.
And I was probably my last $100. Joseph and I were at the casino. He was having all the luck, like usual. Everyone who watches the channel is like, why does Joseph always get the bonus and you never get the bonus? How come you always get the big win? That's just how it is.
Okay.
But this one night, I'd been drinking more than winning, and I was like, well, let me record this Buffalo bonus because, who knows what'll happen. And I was betting $1.80. I did not expect anything to happen on $1.80 bet. And before I knew it, I had 15 gold heads. I was
Nice.
cursing. You can see the original video on my channel. And then I recently, like during the pandemic, I edited the video to make it a little bit more PG.
Okay.
Because I'm not I don't curse. I'm not that person. So I don't
Okay.
want to give off that impression to people that in that one video where I was drunk cursing and like bitch, blah, 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 all that stuff. It's like, that's not really who I am. And so I've always had like a little, whenever I watch it back, I'm like, oh God, it's so embarrassing. But people responded to it. They loved the natural, reaction. But I was like, I just don't feel like that's a real representation of who I am. So I re-edited the video. That video, I went on to win $5,300.
Okay. On
And
a
it was
dollar
like
eighty bet.
$1.80 bet.
Wow.
And it was a 25-minute video of me recording vertically. And so, this is before vertical videos are cool, and so I got a lot of hate on that because it wasn't shot landscape wise. I'm like, oh my God, y'all, just
Enjoy the win.
enjoy
Enjoy the
it.
win.
This is possible. A $5,300 win on a $1.80 bet. And so that's what made me want to start taking it seriously, because I have these fun, crazy wins. So that was 2018. So that little period from 2015 to 2018, what ended up happening is I got a new computer. And in 2015, when I started my channel, I was using Windows Movie Maker. If you go back to the first couple of, maybe 20 videos that I posted on my channel, you'll see like I did like a stop animation intro that I created on like Corel Draw.
Okay.
And, I made the music for the intro, and I made the music for the intro now too. But that was like before I learned how to edit. And so I got a new computer, and Windows Movie Maker wasn't on the new computer. So I was like, well, crap, I'm going to edit videos now. So I kind of became complacent and didn't try to get another program or learn anything. So I just kind of posted here and there. And then 2018, fast forward to the Buffalo Gold, it's like, I got to start taking this seriously.
Okay. I'm going
Oh,
to interrupt you there. We'll jump right back into this. But
mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of questions that came up
Sure.
recently, or just compliments that came up. I think
Oh,
Gamblers Unknown and Melba, along the same lines, they said it's absolutely amazing that a channel your size recognizes other channels that are smaller, like that are starting out, that haven't progressed quite well yet, and they're still in that process, like you just did with the slot drop. That is
oh,
amazing. That is a huge compliment to you.
we're a community,
Um,
y'all.
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
And then somebody asked the question, and this question that was asked by somebody, I don't know who asked it, but I'm going to answer it. They said, "How long have slot channels been around?" I just
Oh, wait.
discovered them in 2020. So,
Oh, I think '08, right?
oh,
I think,
oh 08, right?
mhm. I
Okay,
think it's
so
been,
that
maybe even
point right
earlier.
there, there's a lot of people that I interact with, that I talk to, that said, I didn't even know there were slot channels out there.
Still
You
to this
you
day. Still to this day. I'll be filming at a casino. What are you doing? Why are you watching your game through your phone?
exactly, exactly. But those are the viewers that we want to attract, because they want to watch the videos. However, they haven't discovered them yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's your key target audience there. SoCal Slot says Josh is the best, and I couldn't miss this. Thank you,
Yay.
SoCal Slots. She went
Good to see you.
live for the first time ever, a few nights ago, at 1:30 in the morning. She did it. She ripped off that Band-Aid and she just jumped right in, which was
Yeah. Let me
fantastic.
tell you, the first time you go live, it's like, oh my God. It's a little overwhelming. Still
Yes,
to
it
this
does.
day, going live is overwhelming. It takes a lot of energy out of you.
Okay, so you started way back. When you started, did you focus on subs?
You know, gosh, not, I've always said that I wanted my growth to be organic and,
Okay.
steady. And that's what it has been. So I just remember, like, we all aspire to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark.
Yeah.
And I think before I hit 1,000 subscribers, I became monetized. I don't know if that was possible back then.
Yeah. It was.
I think it just mattered if you had so many watch hours or if you had the subs. So I remember, like, going, getting monetized, like, oh, cool, that was quick. Not quick, but I imagine it'd be longer. Um, but I mean, honestly, the chase of it all hasn't been there for me. I just enjoy what I do. Of course, I want to be a big channel and all that stuff, but I'm not going to go out of my way to make that happen. I'm just going to do what I do and just have a good time with it.
E- exactly.
Yeah.
Anonymous says, my question is, I just started posting shorts on YouTube. I now have 7 subscribers. What do I do
Just,
now?
just keep posting content that makes you happy. That's the number one thing. So don't chase numbers, don't chase view counts, don't chase subscribers. Just put stuff out there that you feel proud about and reflects you, and that's all you need to worry about.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's good. Rockin'
Yeah.
Rocco Slots is in the house. Man versus Slots is in the house. Thank you guys for coming in. It's a Simon. It's a slot machine, Simon.
Hey guys.
Um, thank you for coming in. Okay, so you were monetized. How did it feel when you made that first dollar?
Um, I think I had to wait 2 months before I received a payment. I think because you have to meet like a threshold. I think,
Yeah.
right? And I remember going to Harrah's the first time I got a check from Google Ads,
Okay.
and my favorite bartender was working. He's like, "Girl, I'm on YouTube and I'm making money now." It was like maybe $120.
Hey, but that was the start.
Yeah, and it's nice to just have like a little kickback for the work that you do. Granted, it is a lot of work running a
Yes.
YouTube channel, and You know, I think a lot of people get this idea that I'm going to make bank. Oh, it's going to be, I'm going to be, famous and all that stuff. No, it's work. And I can't tell you how many hours I should probably clock myself, really. During the pandemic, I did, and I haven't edited this video, but I decided to record my work process
That
for a
would
week
be that would be
because
awesome.
I just wanted to say, kind of showcase to people just how extensive it is. And I realized at the end of it, I was like, wow, this is a lot. I don't think people even want to see any of this because it's just kind of mundane. And, there's bits and pieces where I would talk to camera and be like, okay, so this is what I have to do today. Here's my checklist. I need to make sure I edit this video. I need to create the thumbnails for this. I need to go in and, you know, watch Joseph's content. So I recorded bits and pieces of me at the computer editing, and then we're doing screen recordings and kind of showcasing my process. And then just like as the week ended, and I was like wrapping up that whole process, I was like, I don't think people want to see this because it's just so boring.
Actually, I think they would. All you have
Maybe.
to do. Well, I have two comments, but first, Real 20 said their first Google Ads check was
Girl,
$1,100.
that's a really
But
good first cut.
that is, but they haven't made that much since. So there you go. But to get to the work thing, I'm going to take one step back on a question earlier. When you talk about you do your videos, you're a musician and you put your own music in the background, so you don't have copyright issues, right, on some of
Well,
your stuff. Can you replace the music that you get?
no, I don't. I don't really have to worry about that so much because I'm very conscious of what's playing above me.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting by a speaker, I'll get up from that machine and not record. Even though I
Okay.
really want to play that game, I'm like, "Ugh, I can't because that background music is just gonna be so loud, and I don't want to put a track underneath. And that's the trick for a lot of those YouTubers who know that there's music in the background, and you're going to you're going to have a copyright claim.
Okay.
Um, if you can find a track to overlay, bring down your volume, and then put a track on top of that that's a little louder than your speaking track, that'll wipe out that claim. YouTube also has like that editing, so where you can just insert music, but
Yeah.
it takes away all of your speaking. Because you don't want I don't want the speaking part to be lost because people don't know what you're talking about. Hey, he was just talking about that. What happened? I want to know the story. you know. So, but yeah, for me, I'm very aware of the music behind me, and I'll have to talk on top of it so I don't get that claim. So
So
I don't really have that
I
issue.
noticed in some of your videos, you actually sing along over the music. Does that
Yes.
do anything for the copyright? Does that make
I
it
haven't had any issues with it yet. I must
okay?
sound, I must be off key.
And Melba says she's still waiting for the behind the scenes video to drop. Just
Oh,
saying.
if I would, it would honestly take me a few weeks to edit that, and that's the daunting part. Is just the amount of time to go through the playback, weed out the boring parts. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I have it filmed, so it's if I ever get to it.
Okay, I'm going to jump over to one of the three questions that I asked at the beginning of the show. Do
Okay.
you consider yourself an influencer?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll say that. Yeah, for sure.
How
Uh,
so?
well, I mean, my knowledge of the games
Okay.
and especially when it comes to the stats and all that stuff,
Okay.
I relay that information to my viewers, and I think that's influential. So I'm very much a slotaholic. I know all the games.
Hey,
Even like you could point out the most obscure game, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what you need on that, and that pays the best symbol. And you know, I I might not like the game, but I know how it works. And so,
exactly.
and then with my strategy of gameplay, I think that's influential. Um, and knowing when to stop is an important part of game playing.
Okay.
Accept the win. If know what a big win really is on that game. A lot of times people will, you'll have a $200 win. I'm like, oh, it's hot.
Okay.
Girl, a $200 win.
Is it
And here's something for all of us. It is really hard to get more than a 50 times win on a slot machine.
okay?
Let me tell you, you can go through 500 spins and probably have 50 times to 100 times win. So if you have a win like that happen, cash out. Accept the wins, collect those tickets, collect those coins, collect those tickets, and then combine that ticket, all your tickets, and that'll be your big win.
That's an excellent tip. And I watch a lot of channels, and I see some channels that do this well. Even if they're betting 50 cents, they will bet 50 cents, but they'll get a win that's $50, and they'll go, well, that's X times the amount that you put in. And they do that so well. They're recognizing that win as a big win for the bet amount that they're choosing. And I think that's where a lot of things get sort of obscure when you're looking at thumbnails and you're looking at people saying, "Oh, my biggest win ever." It's relative to what you're betting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's still a 100 times win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go to question 1. What do you think the most important aspect of your channel is?
I guess realistic gameplay.
Okay.
We don't go beyond our means. We're your average players.
Okay.
And we just, I'll say me. I play with strategies that are, interesting and fun, and these challenges that I come up with, and I always hope to see that my viewers try them out for themselves.
Okay.
Because I'm doing it for fun for the channel, but sometimes I surprise myself with the outcomes. So, I'll say that we're in that aspect, we're different from other channels.
Okay. I want to ask you about editing your videos. How much time do you spend editing your videos when you first started out versus now?
When I had to learn editing. So, for those who are wondering, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay. And that was actually suggested to me from Slot Lady, Sarah. So I popped into one of her lives probably back in 2018. And she suggested using it. And so I looked into it, and I was like, well, let's go for it, because I don't have any other way of editing videos. My electrifying personality, sure. That too. And so that took a while to learn how to edit. I watched YouTube videos on tutorials, learning, some skills on editing. And then over time, I created templates. So now I can, whenever I go to edit a video, I already have a template in place.
Okay.
But I'll have to move around, in bits and pieces, especially for 100 spins. I have that counter up top that shows what spin number I'm on, and the little pot of money. I have to edit each individual. It's a lot. But at least I have templates in place now to where it kind of expedites the process, but it's still like a 7-Up challenge will take maybe 2 hours to edit.
Wow.
A 100 spins video will probably take 2 to 3 hours to edit. What else do I do? Max 10, I've gotten down to probably about an hour in editing. And then the super session takes 3 days.
Okay.
It takes 3 days. So, not 3 full days, but like maybe I'll do 4 hours of work on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and it's done.
Okay.
A lot of the process of editing is playback, though. You have to watch the playback, and you just be familiar with what you're going to be airing, because you, as an editor, you want to make sure that everything makes sense.
Okay. Now that right there, that level of detail that you put into the editing, I know channels that just have it on their phone. Okay, blop. I'm going to drop it in, throw my intro in the beginning, my exit, boom.
I might be doing it wrong. I probably should be doing it that way.
No, but the level of detail that you put into your channel shows. I mean, because one, you come up with these ideas like Max 10, task of the month, all of these different time bombs,
Knockout challenge. That's a fun
knockout
one.
challenge. So you've developed those ideas. It wasn't something. I guess I had a question that came in one of my previous interviews that said. People give up too easy. So when you develop these channels or these challenges, you make sure that they work. You keep staying with it and staying with it. At what point do you know, hey, this challenge just isn't going to work, and go on to another one?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I'm proud of the concepts. Like, I think they do work. And win or lose, it is what it is. It had a
Okay.
purpose to it, and that shows. Like the past couple of 7-Up challenges have been losing 7-Up
Okay.
challenges, but the viewers appreciate that, and they feel sorry for me, which is fine.
But
I feel bad when I stop filming, but
hey, but that's the beauty
yeah.
of those challenges is you don't have to have the grand video or the major video. You're putting the challenge together, so no matter what happens, win, lose, or
Yeah.
draw, you
Think
got
about it.
footage.
I tend to think about HGTV with my
Okay.
channel. I like to think of like, you can expect to see this show on that day, and you're going to see them remodel this home. And are you going to like the outcome of the interior design? We'll find out. Or are they going to pick the right house? Is that your favorite house of the 3 they looked at? We'll find out. That's how I think about my channel and my little concepts and my challenges. It's that okay, something fun can happen. Is it going to happen? Oh well, next time.
Okay.
And I whatever happens for me in the filming process, that's how it played out. And that's what you're gonna get this week. Sorry. That's what I got.
No, but that's excellent. Lucky Obsession says, "Do you have time to edit my videos too?"
Oh Lord, I wish I could. I'm so sorry. And I've often thought about handing over that responsibility to someone to edit my videos, because I've certainly made it to where um, all the content that's been on my channel, you can absorb that as an editor and know my style and
Okay.
edit the videos. But it's just I'm so much a part of the creative process, and I'm a creative person, so it's hard for me to let go of responsibilities.
I was just going to ask that question, but you already answered it for me. Um, do you brainstorm your ideas with anybody?
I think Joseph. Yeah, Joseph. The very first concepts that I came up with were 100 spins and time bomb. I don't
Okay.
do time bomb anymore, mainly because the 5-minute mark is too short of a video,
Okay.
and sometimes you'll trigger the bonus at 1 minute, and then you have like a minute bonus after, and then you have to throw in some random video after it to make 8 minutes on a YouTube or whatever. And so I now incorporate it into the slot showdown,
Okay.
and I've now made it a TikTok challenge, a 2-minute time bomb. So because TikTok you can only have 3-minute videos, I think. So I'm kind of like resurfacing that challenge, but with brainstorming, I think those are the only two I ever suggested to Joseph, and everything else I've come up with my own. Now, except for Max 10. Max 10 was actually created by the name I came up with, but the idea of it was for a thing that Kushada Casino did with Kelly, Debbie, and I.
Okay.
And it was a battle of the slot influencers.
Okay.
And we had 10 games to play, and we had to play them at max bet and 10 spins. And whoever earned the most became the winner of the slot influencer battle. And
Okay.
so I told Kelly at the end of that, I was like, that was a lot of fun. I think I should turn that into a YouTube challenge. She goes, Josh, that's going to be so expensive. I wouldn't recommend it. And I was like, well, I need to replace Time Bomb with something. I think I'm going to do that. She goes, that's a lot of money each week.
Uh-huh.
it's a lot of money each week. So now it's like a once a month thing. But yeah, so Kelly, I talked to her about that, and we came up with. She suggested that it would be too difficult to do every week, but I continued on with it because it's actually resulted in some of my favorite wins.
Okay.
So yeah, and I have
That
another idea down the pipeline that I'm trying to finesse. I've recorded one series or one challenge. It's called Time to Go, and it's basically going to be a video based on checklists, which stems from my 100 spins findings. I'm like what you
okay.
can expect to see in 100 spins, how many bonus attempts and stuff like that. And so if a certain checklist, it's kind of hard to explain this challenge, but it's basically about if this doesn't happen in this amount of time, or if this doesn't, or if these things occur and you don't get the big win, move on. It's time to go.
Okay.
So look forward to that as soon as I
Hey,
finesse it a
that'll
little
that'll
bit.
be another one.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I
okay,
want to give
so
people the idea that you can play other things. Things don't chase. Things are going to happen.
or don't get married to a machine.
Don't get married to a machine. Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. Although they do have some dolls now that are pretty nice looking. You can marry one of those if you wanted
Oh, I
to.
saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that show.
What advice would you give? There's two things here. What advice would you give to a channel that is starting out, that they're just getting going? They picked this very expensive niche to get into,
Yeah.
and they're starting out.
Um. Well, I've already mentioned, don't get attached to the numbers. Don't get attached to your subscribe. Not like that, but don't get so much into the analytics. Is what I'm talking about. Don't let that be a driving force for you. Just remember that this is a community. We all eventually know one another,
Okay.
and so get into this guy's one of my favorite slides. Thank you, Austin. Um, definitely participate in the community,
Okay.
get to know one another. And for me, um, my channel, I've always wanted to show everything. So, like all the different games, a lot of channels are pretty much, they're just playing what game they like, whether it be Dragon Link or Lightning Link. They're stuck on the same games, you know. Let me tell you, I don't know how people watch Dragon Link and Lightning Link videos on YouTube. I'm like, it's such a boring game for me. It's so boring for me. You're just waiting for those 6 balls to drop, and now what? But um, more importantly, you play that game so much at the casino, and now you're watching it on YouTube. I don't. It's like, didn't you have your fix? Don't you want to learn other games on YouTube? Don't you want to see other things that you could be playing and how well they can pay? And
Okay.
so when it comes to as a creator, a content creator, um, kind of definitely think about your viewers and who's going to be watching and what they want to see. Give them something interesting, and don't forget to showcase your personality, because they're going to watch the game, but they're going to want to learn you too. They're going to want to know
Okay.
you better. So those are my tips.
Okay.
And don't go
That,
out of your means to get content.
that's
Play within your means. This is
that's
an expensive hobby, like our sport.
That is an excellent piece of advice. Do not go outside your means. I wish I would listen to that myself sometimes. But
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Well, I come to the casino with the budget, and a lot of times I will go over that. Not a lot of times, but depending on how things are going, I got
sure.
a backup budget that I got to get to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a piece of advice. Channel that was starting out, that's what you got there. You have somebody that's in the slot community that is discouraged, that they have maybe 125 videos, but their channel's not growing the way that they want. They're just, people get down. You go through that, especially with YouTube, especially if you're concentrating on numbers and analytics and everything else, what would you tell that person?
I mean, it's I'm not a person that gets discouraged. It's really I mean, I understand there's a journey for all of us. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. You
Yeah.
know, I'm just a person that I guess I have persistence,
Okay.
and which is one of the reasons why I got the ability to film in Louisiana. Um,
Good
but
point.
again, if it doesn't make you happy, if you're so concerned about all that stuff, and you're not seeing the what you what you're hoping to see, just there are if you really want to continue on with the YouTube channel and you see the bigger picture, then yeah, their analytics are there as your friend. I mean, they can show you what people are watching. Analytics do show like your average time duration of video, how long they watch your videos. And so you can see like points of the video where people lose interest. So you can kind of gather information that way and kind of address, make some changes.
Okay.
That's if you're really, really wanting to pursue this. And another thing is just be persistent. I think that's the number one thing. Be
Exactly.
persistent. No such thing as an overnight success. It looks like that to most people, but there's so much work that goes on. So just work at it.
Exactly. So real quick,
Don't
Melly
get
Loves
down
Slot.
on it. Don't feel down about it.
Eh,
It's just YouTube. It's just videos.
Yeah. Well,
and and
t-
I can't say that this is a full-time, it's I definitely make my money from my business. So it's,
yeah.
people might look at my channel as being, one of the more successful ones, and I still feel like I'm a baby slot channel for real. But it's definitely, that aspiration of I'm going to be an influencer and make a lot of money and all that stuff. I mean, that's beyond me.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, and I'm just doing my thing still, having a good time.
Have
So
fun.
yeah,
Just have fun. And I think, with the niche that we're in, the slot niche, real quick, Melly Loves Slots, she says, I agree to new and see how it's played and how it pays out. New or old can pay out too. But for
yeah.
that point, your channel is so diversified with different slots channels, different slot machines, because of the different ideas that you have and the Max 10 and the
And
concept.
also, Kushada does do a great job of bringing in new machines every week.
Okay.
Oh my god. It's like we'll just wrap up a 2-day trip there to film, and then the next day they install a game and like, oh my god, I've been wanting to play that forever, and they just installed the freaking game. And like every week on YouTube, I'm sorry, on Facebook, they show new games that they install. I'm like, oh my gosh, dang it.
Gotta get
I
back,
would
gotta
be
get
there
back.
every week if I could.
And then
So that
Melba
helps.
Melba says sport coming to the Olympics soon, 2028 slot play. Um,
Right.
I'm looking forward to that. Uh, okay, so let's talk real quick. What kind of time saving tips could you tell everybody out there when it comes to your channel?
Time saving?
Yeah.
Meaning what?
Meaning, are there any tips that you've learned along the way that could save people time over the
Hmm.
long haul? I'll go first. Um, for me, the time saving tip that I would tell anybody that has a slot channel is to take one day, at least one day, to put videos together and schedule them out ahead of time instead of trying to do it at the last minute. Because when you try and
Yeah.
do it at the last minute, other things get in the way.
Um, yeah, scheduling out your videos. If you have that much content, that does help. I mean, I do have, like I said, I schedule up my week. So on Monday you can expect to see a video, Tuesday a certain type of video. So I know my what needs to be dropped into those days. But every week I'll make like a little calendar. Like, okay, Monday I want to make sure that this video airs. Tuesday is going to be that, and So that's what I do. Now, for me, because I export my videos on Adobe Premiere Pro, and it takes like a 30-minute video will take about 30 minutes or 15 minutes to export.
Okay.
So while that's exporting, meaning creating the file that you eventually upload to YouTube, I start working on the thumbnail.
Okay.
And so, which thumbnails take time too, man, like sometimes 45 minutes to an hour. And
Okay.
for me, because I have to go through the video and I need to make sure I pull the image from the video that is going to best represent the video. And then what word am I going to put on this? Everybody gets tired of seeing Big Win. You know? And then you have to think of the title. And then, yeah, you know, that's a process of its own too. So I generally, and for those wondering, I don't know. I do all of the editing primarily 95% of the time the day before, and then the thumbnail at 11 o'clock at night before I go to sleep.
Okay.
And
Wow.
so, yeah. And so I'm like, it's crunch time for me all the time. So sometimes I'll have a video ready 2 days in advance,
Okay.
rarely 3 days in advance. Maybe the super session I'll have ready 3 days in advance because I have to promote it.
Wow.
Because that's the only video I do every month that's a premiere and a live chat, because it's my sit down time with my viewers who are dedicated to the channel and are enthusiastic about a super session. We all get to communicate and talk and have a good time while we watch everything unfold. So that's like my guarantee live of the month.
Now, is that for your members only, or?
No, super sessions for everybody to watch. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing, my channel members who are called my sippers, I'll create emojis based on the games that I play in the super session that they can use in the live chat to root, you know, for the task to be completed. But yeah, that's, I rarely get the chance or an opportunity to do anything specific to my channel members except for task of the month. They get to participate and vote for the game, which this past week was the first hand pay that we ever got on task of the month. And the person, for the task of the month, one of the channel members wins a prize, and I spin a wheel. So I put all their names, and that's another thing. YouTube does a terrible job of letting you know when you have a new channel member, if someone has left or upgraded their account or downgraded or changed their name. And so every month I have to go through my I make a spreadsheet. So I do all the work still, not YouTube. I take a spreadsheet of all my channel members and, you know, this person's no longer a channel member. This person's upgraded. This person just made a year as a channel member. So, you know, I acknowledge those channel members who made those thresholds. And then I take all their names and I put it into a drawing, and then I spin the wheel. And
that doesn't take any time though, right?
Oh my gosh. And so what ended up happening, we got our very first hand pay on task of the month. And the very first channel member actually ended up winning on the wheel, a random drawing. And so I thought that was really cool. And her name's Alana. And I think she actually is making 2 years as a channel member, because I started channel memberships in May of 2020. Wow. So I have a couple channel members making 2 years. Pretty cool.
That is very cool. Let's talk about another aspect of channels. I'm not sure if you are or not. Do you have any sponsorships with any casinos or anything else?
No.
Okay.
No, I have been brought in to promote a few games through the slot manufacturers.
Okay.
So one of them was when you were there at Cosmopolitan, Rake and Bacon Deluxe. AGS approached us to not premiere it because it was already out, but to promote it during G2E week and Monopoly Money Grab.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
grab those coins.
Yeah. So stuff like that's really cool. And you know, another thing is that we've been fortunate to create relationships with the manufacturers, and that's with them reaching out to us. And I know there's a few people in the chat who have been approached by manufacturers
That is awesome.
Um, and so that's really cool to have a relationship with them, and you can reach out to them at any time. Um,
Exactly.
Alana, who was our first channel member and won Task of the Month, I reached out to Every, and that was the game we got a hand pay on, and they made a custom shirt for her with Super
Awesome.
Dragon. Yeah, so stuff like that is really cool,
Yeah.
and you know it's really cool to have the relationship with the manufacturers. I've always had like from the get-go, from when I turned 21 back in '04, I was like, I would love to design a game. I would love to be work for a gaming
Yeah.
manufacturer and come up with some concepts. So who knows, maybe that can be in the cards down the road.
Hey, it might be. You're putting it out there in the universe. It could come back.
Yeah, just do it all.
Do it all. Songwriter, singer, slot channel influencer, business
Business
owner,
owner.
a little bit of it, a little bit of everything.
I do too
Um,
much.
hey, it's all good. Um, I don't want to take up a lot more of your time, so I'm going to get into some quick questions.
What time
Um,
do you have, by the way?
right now, it is 11:15.
So it's 1:15 my time. Okay.
Yeah. So, one, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Oh, I haven't seen a lot of the world though, so I know that I want to be somewhere where it's beautiful with nature and landscapes. I've always wanted my dream home to have mountains in the backdrop with a little creek in the backyard and maybe an apple orchard. Orchard. I don't know.
Okay.
So, but I love the beach, Maui. I would love to have a home there. I don't think I want to live there full time. But I just want beautiful surroundings.
Okay.
New Orleans doesn't really offer that. So
Well, I went to South Carolina recently. They have a lot of nice orchards and stuff out. Well, I don't know if they're orchards, but
yeah,
they have a lot of nice houses. It was okay. No New Orleans by far,
you know,
but it was.
I've
Well,
I've been to Canada. I've been to Montana. That's really beautiful. I just don't think I can deal with the winter. Uh,
Yellowstone out that way,
I haven't been to
Montana.
Yellowstone. No, I haven't been there yet.
Okay,
I've been to Glacier National Park. So,
okay.
but yeah, definitely,
So
it's definitely somewhere in America. We have a lot of beautiful places here that people look past and want to
okay,
go to
so
another country.
one more question about your slot channel. You've played a ton of different games from different manufacturers and everything else. What one game stands out to you the most?
Hmm. I mean, a favorite. Well, God, it's really hard to pinpoint favorites because I see good in a lot of games. I do like the Power Link, Neptune, and Zeus.
Okay.
I find those to be exciting games. You have to have a hand pay on it or anywhere near hand pay, but they're fun. I like Samurai Gold, which was a new game from AGS. I've had
Okay.
some fun wins on that one. I love the sounds and the graphics of that. So I do go more towards the graphics of the game. Um,
What
and
one manufacturer do you lean to?
I really do. I mean, I used to not, but I find myself playing Light and Wonder scientific games.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just like the graphics and
They have
they're
gotten
they're entertaining.
spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I like them all. I'm trying to really like Konami. Their games are so volatile, but they can pay so well. It's just you have to hit it at the right time. Um, Aristocrat. I actually played this game a lot. It's called Tion Si Jin Lu,
Okay.
and it's a hold and spin based game where you have to get 6 coins. There's a must hit by jackpot of $300 and a progressive pick feature. So it's actually a simple game, but I've had some awesome wins on that game. So yeah,
I'm gonna go
that's
downstairs and look for it right now, as a
I'll
matter of fact.
I'll send you a picture of it. Tianxi Jinlu.
Okay.
Yeah.
real quick, real 20 in slots. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And if you go over to his Facebook, he does have some videos up there that will show him doing some participation in some of the funtivities there on Bourbon Street. She said, "Do you have a float or participate in any of the parties?"
Well, a house float is when you put decorations up that makes your house look like a float. But we live on a high rise with the terrace, and we're not allowed to do that, so we can't put any decorations up. Um, but for Mardi Gras, I didn't do any parades this year. But I do have. I love to go to Muses, Nick's, but Nick's is probably not going to make it past this year. They've had a lot
Okay.
of controversy behind them, and Endymion, and I think maybe one other parade that I'll be able that I make time for, because again, I'm working at the store and I can't go out, have too much fun, and then work the next morning. It's just miserable. So yeah, I'd rather make money than put my
Okay.
body through misery.
So one more thing that I'm going to shout out about your channel, that I'm going to ask you, and I already know the answer. So everybody in there, when you go to film, you're going to go to work. You're not going to go have a good time and just relax and play the slots.
Well,
Tell
always have a
everybody
good
that
time.
process. You
I
always have a
always
good
have a good
time,
time.
obvious.
Um,
Obvious.
but yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, we record just once a month, maybe twice if we're lucky for the channel.
Okay.
So when we go to Kashada to film, as soon as we sit down, I put the tripod up. Joseph doesn't always use a tripod, which drives me crazy because in editing it's um but yeah, as soon as I sit down, I'm recording, and I first thing I'll do is play my slot play and record a video with my slot play. And then I'll consider, do I need to do a 100 spins video next, or should I go to the 7-Up challenge? You know, I have to keep in mind my money, because I'm not going to the casino with copious amounts of money. I go
Okay.
there with my, maybe I'll say this: I probably only play $1,600
Okay.
for to get all of my content. I know I start off with maybe $800 in my pocket. I'm telling people my business now; they're going to come up to
Okay.
me and know what's in my pocket. But like I have to think about that stuff. I'm like, okay, I
Okay.
only have this much money on me now. What can I get? What kind of content can I get with this? And then if I need to, I'll go to the room and get some more to film. But yeah, once it's gone, it's gone.
So
So
one question about that. When you're filming, you go once a month. When you're filming for that month, do you change shirts and stuff for your different
mhm.
challenges?
Yep, I
Just
do.
wanted to know.
Yep, because
Uh,
I'm like, well, next Saturday they're going to see me in the same shirts. Let me switch.
okay. That question was brought up to me
and
by
then
a
I
viewer.
also think about my skin, because some vodka in your system will make you want to sweat a little bit, and so I
Yeah.
have to go to the bathroom and put some water in my face, freshen it up. And then I just there's things that you have to continuously think about, just for the looks of the channel. You want it to make sense. And then even with editing too, like we might have a conversation that happened in one video, and I have to be aware of that conversation for a video that we've filmed 8 hours later. Like, oh
Okay.
man, I have to follow that video up with this now, because it's totally not going to make sense.
Yeah.
So all that stuff comes into play. But yeah, Joseph doesn't care too much about any of that stuff. Yeah,
But
they're gonna get what they get. But like,
but you do, and I was curious about that because I have some viewers that say, "Hey, you're in the casino again. I just saw you yesterday. Put the video out. Now you're in the casino again. Same shirt.
yeah.
Today's a different day. Yeah. So that's why I asked that question. Those are from some older videos of mine.
Well, I mean,
Um,
it's a good question too, because that's the truth. I'll be like, okay, I have to go switch my shirt, because I just don't want to be wearing the same thing the same day on my channel.
exactly.
I mean, the
Okay.
next day.
So I'm gonna run down some quick um, questions here or choices for you. Aristocrat or Ainsworth?
Aristocrat.
Okay. Konami or Scientific Games? I think I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Piggy
Or
banking or
we'll say Light and Wonder now.
Piggy bank or Huff and Puff?
Oh, Piggy Bankin or Huff and Puff? I'll go with Huff and Puff.
Okay, and I'll skip the Dragon Link ones. I just won't ask you those.
You can. I'll be honest.
Golden Century or Autumn Moon?
Autumn Moon.
Okay. Dragon Link or Dollar Storm?
I'll say Dollar Storm.
Okay. Genghis Khan or Peace and Love, Long Life?
Ooh, I like Peace, Love, and Long Life because that's Jaden. I call him Jaden with the green eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The old man with the green eyes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
3 wheel slots or Keno?
3 reel. Yeah,
Okay.
Keno, I've never really.
Poker or blackjack?
Poker.
Okay. If you're being chased, what would you want to be chased by? A bear or a tiger?
Well, in the gay community, a bear is a good thing.
Okay, we'll leave it at the bear then. We'll leave it at the bear. Hey, Josh, I really appreciate you taking the time today to sit here with me and just
You're
chat
welcome.
and have a good time. You put out a lot of awesome tips here for new channels that are coming up. Really appreciate the fact that you do watch um, all different types of channels. And that was one of the questions I didn't get to ask you. What type of channels do you watch? I know you said it earlier. Dragon, you don't want to watch Dragon Link videos or probably even slot videos because you produce slot videos. What channels do you watch on YouTube?
Well, I mean, that is a good question. Honestly, like you just said, because I edit so much with
Yeah.
slots, I don't really find myself watching slot videos too much anymore. I'll pop in every now and then as much as I can to like live chats and here's another thing too. I'll go into live chats and not say hi,
Uh-huh.
and only because I might have like my other computer open and I'm editing and I don't want to get caught in conversation and then, not be able to finish editing. And then, sometimes when you're saying hello in a live chat, and I've been told, no, just say hi, it's okay. But, I don't want to become not that I will be, but I don't want to become a distraction of some sort and just like constantly texting. Like I just want to be like an observer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to be there to say what's up, and then I'll know the person and I'll reach out to them directly and say, hey, that was an awesome live, congratulations. But I do, this is funny, I pretty much, if I get on YouTube, I watch tarot card readers.
Okay. Hey.
I watch there's Oliver Twixt is his name, and he is a personality who has been interviewing America's Next Top Models.
Okay.
And I was a super fan of that show. And it's really interesting about all the girls who have come on into his YouTube channel to talk about their experience with behind the scenes. And it's amazing what bullshit they went through on that channel. And a lot of people think that they were like Tyra was close with them. They had no interactions with her. They were never fed. It was like really interesting to hear all their stories, because you see one thing on TV and then you actually get the real story 15 years later. So he's been doing that. That's been kind of interesting. And then I'll watch like music videos and interviews with artists and actors. And that's kind of like what I end up watching on YouTube. But no, I mean, I still watch. Joseph and I, when we get into bed, we'll watch YouTube channels and just kind of unwind. And it always starts with our good friend Diana, Diana Bonnie. And then it'll roll over into Kelly and Debbie and Neely. And then, the list goes on and on. And so, yeah, we discover new channels every day. And try to cheer on everybody as much as we can.
Hey,
So,
that's awesome.
and Lori Luckbox, I'm sure she'll watch this eventually, but yeah, we'll check in with her. But yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of channels, so it's hard to watch everybody, but we definitely communicate. So we all correspond through, DMs or comments on each other's videos, and the comment sections. So we do what we can to keep in contact.
If you ever jump into one of my lives, please say hi so that everybody can say, "Hey, there's Josh. Let me say hi to Josh. Everybody say hi to Josh."
Yeah.
I would appreciate it if you did pop in and say hi whenever you have
but
time.
just know that sometimes I'm a secret person in the chat.
Okay, so I'll shout you out even though you're not there. I'm just gonna say, "Hey, there's Slotaholic skipping on the street."
What you do, because when you tag somebody in live chat, you have to put that stupid @ symbol before you start typing in their name. I hate that. So yeah, if you ever just do the @ symbol SL, oh, there he is. He's here.
There you go. But yeah, I know, and that's one of the pieces of advice that I give out channels that are people that are thinking about starting a channel. Hey, make that name as easy as you possibly can to type out, because at underscore asterisk, uppercase, lowercase. I mean, I've seen some ridiculous names with all the symbols and everything else, and it
I
just
wish
makes
that YouTube would fix that too. And plus, on your cell phone, you can't. I don't think when you're in a live chat on a cell phone, you can't do at that person's name. I don't think it works the same way.
Yeah,
YouTube has some weird things going on too. Even like, I will, if people who want to become channel members, they have the hardest time finding the join button for some reason. And I think there's like some issues with different platforms that you use. Josh, it seems we have an 8 p.m. opening for May 4th. Is that Wednesday?
Yes.
Thank you. And your anniversary is May 4th too, right?
Yeah.
I think we could be at Kashada on the 4th. We'll find out for sure tomorrow. It's just a matter of is Joseph feeling better? He threw up this morning. So
Hey, please say yes. Please say yes. The reason why, if you said yes, I wouldn't be the last one to get my thumbnail up. So
what time? 8 p.m. Central or Pacific? You can DM me if you want to. I mean, I'll say 50-50 right now. It could happen. But I mean, I'd like to. But well, I was saying something though. Dang it. I don't remember.
That was a dig at RhinoMan. Hey, 8 p.m. That's my time slot.
Oh, really?
It took me a while to get it. Wait, I was thinking Eastern time, 8 p.m. my time. That would be my time slot. You don't have an opening, but I'd be willing to share it with you if you're at the casino. I'll do 15. You can do 15. We'll all be good.
Yeah, honestly, and then that's another thing. Going live, it's really hard to plan those things. A lot of times, because we only go to the casino once or twice a month to film, we had to get that content, and going live takes time and money. Oh, and by the time you're finished with a 1.5, 2 hour live, boy, am I tired from talking. I'm tired of looking at my phone. I'm tired.
Well, no, on your video, when you go to your trips just to get content, by that end of that day, you must be completely wiped
I'm beat. And I know, I'll still record, set up, and play, but like at some point you just start losing energy and you start losing your voice and you start getting tired. And you're like, well, if I'm not talking enough, I'll just speed through the video for editing and get to the meat of the situation. But then I'm very much a person of energy. So what I'm putting out is what I'm getting back.
Yeah.
And if I'm not putting out any energy to my machine, I ain't getting nothing. And it happens all the time. I never win when I'm just like, I got to be talking to it. I got to be like, come on, give me that.
Exactly. So we're coming to the end of the interview now, but you did say you were going to warm up that voice.
Yeah, I was just.
You're going to send us out with a note or two here.
Let me see. I think I have some songs that I've. What can I sing that I've written recently that would be interesting?
Anything.
This. Sorry, I got a little. But what can I do? I think I sang this. Okay, I'm gonna sing this song. I don't know why, because there's a whole bunch of songs. But I sang this song in a live with Diana.
Okay.
And I wrote it like last year. And this is just a verse and maybe a pre-chorus and a chorus. And let me get the words right. Okay, yeah, it's called Goes a Long Way.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all ready? Oh my Lord.
We're ready.
All
Real
right.
quick, before you start, Sister Yoshi says, I'm obsessed with tarot card readings on YouTube.
Yeah.
Who are your favorites?
Okay. I like Linda. I like oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. Give me a second. Let me sing the song because I was thinking about the words.
Okay.
All right, so do whatever you can. Start with a smile. Hold out a hand. Oh, 'cause just a little bit.
I love it. I love it. I was waiting for more.
All right, hold on. I'll finish it. 'Cause just a little bit of love goes a long way, goes a long way, and goes a long way. Oh, it goes a long way.
You have a beautiful voice. That is awesome. I wished I could sing, but I would sound like a cat being run over by a truck.
I tried. I could do better than that. I'm sorry, but I thank you.
No, that was absolutely awesome.
So, okay, back to tarot card readers for a second. Linda, I've watched Healing Light. I watch Whimsy and crapping up, forgetting her name. You should be a singer instead of a slide channel, Josh. Aw, thanks. I'll do it all though. And there's another channel that I'm forgetting her name. But she's from New Jersey, and she has brown hair.
So, with New Orleans being like the voodoo, is there any type of voodoo thing that you're? Do you have superstitions or anything like that?
No.
I went from voodoo to superstitions. Do you have like little voodoo dolls that
I
you
don't
can
have anything particular. Every now and then I'll say put that gree on it on my channel because that's a voodoo thing, and that's when you have a gree is a little bag of magic that you keep on you.
I think a lot of people in the chat have that little bag of magic, but they usually smoke it instead.
Oh,
so.
okay, yeah, that's grass. I think there's another thing. You just put salt at the door to keep bad spirits out, and then use your sage and stuff like that. But yeah, Sister Yoshi, DM me. But those are the channels. If you remember, if you heard the 4 or 5 that I watch.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think that's really fascinating. If anyone hasn't watched any tarot card readers out there, let me tell you, there's some channels I've watched for 10 years who have read on political situations. They've read on celebrity, personalities and what's in store for them. And it's really fascinating to see some of that stuff come to light. And it's beyond tarot, it's spiritual too. So some of them are able to tap into spirit and get answers. So it's really interesting. So I definitely believe in that realm.
So let's take a step back before YouTube. They had the 1-900 numbers where you could call for your tarot reading. What was her name? Infomercial. Cleo. Yeah. Thank you for calling Miss Cleo. Let me see what I can do for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lie. $500.
I love it.
No, I think everyone should definitely look into those channels that I listed, because you'll just be in awe of the purity and awareness that some people on this earth have, and it's innate to them, and it calms me, and it inspires me to just be more aware of the world that we are fortunate to be in, and to also be aware that we're just a freaking speck of dust in this massive
Exactly.
galaxy or universe, and to let all of those fears and anxieties subside, and just know that it is going to be what's going to be eventually. Just be happy and do things that make you happy, be good to one another. And yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, Josh. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Now I got to go sell rainbows. Ugh.
Hey, go sell rainbows. I can't wait to get out there. I did a quick turnaround a couple of weeks ago, but I only made it to Houston. Didn't drive out to Louisiana with my daughter. I was dropping my granddaughter off, so it was a quick turnaround trip. I appreciate you coming on the show. I look forward to meeting up with you again, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And guys, if you're watching the show, please make sure that you go over to Josh and leave comments on this video, thanking him for doing this interview. Leave the
Speaking of
comments like
rainbows,
this.
today's a fun bonus on Over the Rainbow, the new
Okay,
Wizard of Oz slot machine. And so yeah, check out that fun video.
please do, guys. Until next time, guys. Wednesday, Major Chasers Strikes Back. I'll be in that event. I think I'll be in that event. If I don't get my thumbnail out right now, Josh is taking over my spot. But I will be in that event on Wednesday. Friday, we have another guest, another one, and another one. You're going to want to stay tuned for that one. I can't release the details yet, but I will have that thumbnail up either today or tomorrow for Fridays. And look forward to seeing you. Until next time, let the good times roll.
Thanks for having me. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.